Okay, it's the next day, and you can see the O-rings they've shrunken down quite a bit. The only thing you have to worry about is when you're putting it back on, things don't fall out and get in here. Because like when I first put them on yesterday, I mean, they literally would just fall right in here. So yeah, they've shrunken down quite a bit. So I guess this is the kind of thing where you have to sort of wait overnight for them to, because there's no other really easy way to get these on here. Slide them on this. So this one and this one didn't really get stretched out too much, but this one here, you can see it's definitely gone back quite a bit. Fluid will literally go under, the fluid goes under these Teflon seals and expands them and pushes them outward. So that's how they seal. But yeah, it's definitely, I wouldn't even worry too much about stretching them out when you put them on. See, I did stretch them out a little bit. There's the tolerance between this ridge right here and you can see the fluid comes in these holes. And this little chamber gets pressurized. And these rings keep the pressure inside. So if this ring falls off, and gets in this area right here, it'll cause a lot of problems. When you take them off, it's hard to tell where the grooves are. You have to be careful. You'd make sure you get them on the right grooves. Wrapped them in saran wrap, and I left them about a half hour, and I mean they are pretty compressed now. I wasn't able to get the control valve, I guess you call it, back in. So what I did was I wrapped it with saran wrap really tightly, like 3 or 4 times around, and then I got some electrical tape and wrapped it. And I'm gonna let it sit here for about an hour and see. I figure I stretched them out, and it only took me like 5 minutes, so it shouldn't take that long for them to get stretched back to where they were. But this thing has to be really, these seals can't be sticking out at all. I've pretty much figured out for them to fit in there. So they got to be compressed back down quite a bit. Well, I have to take this off because the seal right there, that can only be replaced if I take this rod assembly off. So I'm gonna have to grind this down with a grinder, and it looks like, all right, so now after I knock most of it off, I'm just gonna drill that out right there. Just gonna drill it out, and there's only one in here. There's nothing else on that side, so should be pretty easy to get out of the seal, because I'm not getting far enough behind. I'm literally just doing the same thing as I was the other one. I'm literally just doing the same thing as I was the other one. Since it's a homemade tool, but that gets it out. See? Okay, you need to put this O-ring in here. There we go. I think I got it. Okay, I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's on there. So there's nothing in the instructions that really explain like where to put the grease and all that. So I took it apart so I kind of know like where the grease was when I took it apart. So I basically filled this area up with grease. The shaft that moves back and forth, the spline shaft, I greased that whole shaft where the grease, where the shaft meets this. I think I have enough in there. So this side of the rack and pinion doesn't get any fluid. It's all grease in this area. I think the fluid is over on this side. So these gears definitely need to be greased. Okay, I found the other O-rings. They go right there, I believe. 1/4-inch PVC and a socket. And that bearing actually is in there pretty good. It took some pretty good pounding to get that bearing in there. So I didn't want to break it because it's kind of thin. But I think I got it. Now I'm putting on the other seal that goes on top. I'm gonna bang that on there. Let's see. And the kit actually comes with 2 snap rings, so it comes with a snap ring for this piece as well, a new one. All right, so I got the snap ring in there. I couldn't use my Harbor Freight pliers. They weren't strong enough for some reason to squeeze the new snap ring. So I had to use my needle nose pliers. Got the snap ring on there. I just gotta hit this. You know, this seal is actually this seal actually grabs this part here a lot more. Same with the other one. So those seals were definitely worn out. So the only difference between this one doesn't say Ford on it. So I'll just have to bang this one in. This one doesn't have any snap ring or anything. It just sits on top. All right, so I ended up using one of these things. I set the point on here, and basically that's how it turned out. It looks pretty good. Yeah, you have to hit it pretty hard though. It's pretty surprising how hard you have to hit this thing for it to sink down.